Good morning, everybody. Happy Taco Tuesday. Thanks for checking in with us once again here on the Fumble Live. We have a lot to talk about. I see you guys are already in the chat talking about it. Seems like Marcus Smart is on one today. Chris is going to tell us about that. And then at the end, we're going to talk about Dick Vitale going almost into tears because the smackdown was laid in Inglewood, and it's hilarious to me. We're going to get into that. Before we do all that, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. And now here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRayTheFanatic.
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K. I do have to make a warning. There is a loose Anaya out in the street. So if there's booming on the door, we know who it is this time. She's normally good, but now we know if there's booming on the door, we know who it is. So I just want it to be noted.
A loose Anaya. I love that. That is
she's
hilarious.
In the streets out there. Yeah.
I didn't shout this out yesterday, but it's my birthday month, y'all. I got to shout out all the Scorpios in the house. Scorpio season. Yes, I said month because I celebrate the whole month. If y'all only do one day, that is a you problem. But it's my birthday month. I'm excited. But let's get into our first need to know news, because this one, I have to be honest, I low-key forgot. That the NBA switched the balls during the off-season pause, but they changed up, and now they're no longer doing Spalding. They went back to Wilson, and for me to say they went back is funny because most of us have no idea. I mean, I have a Spalding basketball in my apartment, so I'm like, okay, maybe I need a new basketball. But the last time they used a Wilson basketball, LeBron James wasn't even born yet, so let that sink in. But they went to from Wilson to Spalding, and now they're going back to Wilson. They did a change in 2006 that only lasted for 2 months because guys were saying they didn't like it. It was like cutting their fingers or whatever. And so it only lasted 2 months before they changed back. But apparently this one is going to stick indefinitely. But if you guys haven't noticed, things are a little weird throughout the league. But when they went through that change and in 2006 and the ball wasn't quite right and they had to switch back, Wilson, what's this guy's name? His name is Kevin Murphy. He's the general manager for Wilson. He said that they're taking steps to make sure that doesn't happen, that there's no problem. So let me show you his quote really quickly. Because he says, quote, "The biggest thing to get the balls is to get the balls broken in and to get players comfortable with the ball. And it's the first time in 37 years that an NBA team is starting a season with new balls and they have to break them in." So that's been the one thing that I think everybody recognizes and acknowledges. So there's no complaints about the ball. It's more like, gosh, I got to get it broken in. But it feels good. That's not necessarily the case. It doesn't seem like people are really agreeing with that. And you probably have noticed as well, because throughout the league, the shooting percentage is down, especially from the 3-point. So right now it's at 34.2%. And that is the worst since the 1998-1999 season. And at that point, it was 33.9%. So guys just aren't shooting the way they were. And so Paul George was asked about this, like, what do you think the reason is? Could it be the ball? And this is his answer. Take a listen. Did I not put that in there? Okay, maybe I didn't put it in there. I could have sworn I did. But long story short, Paul George basically says, I swear I put that in there. He basically says that it's the ball for sure. And because it feels different. He says it's softer than the other one. It doesn't grip the same. So Chris, do you think that that's a fair statement? He says it's not an excuse, and it's not really affecting him because he's like averaging 28 points, almost 29.
I was going to say he's playing fine, right?
So it's not affecting him per se. But do you think that that's a fair assessment that that's happening throughout the league?
I think if that's how Paul George feels, or if that's how any other player feels, I think that's a you problem, because over here as a New York Knicks fan, we having no issues with the ball. We actually number 3 in offensive rating right now in the league, which last year we were in the middle, almost towards the end of the league. 3-point percentage, we're number 1. So shooting numbers over here are just fine. So I don't know what he's talking about, but no. But seriously, we were seeing like Damian Lillard. He's having a slow start. It's quite a few of these guys that we're accustomed to seeing score the ball at a high clip. James Harden. We talked about how he's trying to blame referees, but we were saying you gotta look at your shots you're taking and the shots not going in, stuff like that. There's a lot of aspects to it, but to me, I don't feel like it's widespread enough for it to be a ball issue. I don't know if you guys remember back in 2007, 2006, where we changed the ball from the traditional Spalding ball to a composite ball, and the league hated it so much that it only lasted for one season because the ball was too smooth. It was hard to grip. Sweat when Sweat hit it, it was sliding all over the place. People were missing shots, and that was a league-wide thing. Kobe's numbers were down. LeBron James, who at that time was becoming a shooter, his numbers were down. All of your favorite shooters, all the shooters Ray Allen, all of them could not get a grip of that ball, and it turned into a league-wide thing to the point where the league got rid of it and changed the ball back. So I don't see this as a similar situation.
That only lasted for 2 months that they had that ball. That didn't last for an entire season. That was 2
Right.
months.
See, even worse. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. But that was a different situation. So I don't know if I can blame this on the Wilson ball. I think maybe he's trying to find something, because that's weird that Paul George was saying that. Because I'm listening to you say, so I'm like, but he's playing great. Like, I know the team is not doing the best, but he's playing great. And there's a lot of other people whose numbers are going through the roof. I'm sure Kyle Kuzma ain't gonna complain about the ball. So I don't know. I feel like it's too soon to talk about the Wilson change. That was me complimenting him. He's doing a good job. He's shooting well. Cool. Look at me. I'm turning a new leaf. I'm giving Kyle Kuzma some praise.
No, I don't care about Kyle Kuzma. So that's not it.
Neither do I.
Let me let you hear what Paul George said, because Leo does have the asset now, and I don't think I phrased it right what he said. So y'all take a listen.
Yeah, I mean, I said that not to make an excuse or anything about the ball, but I said that it's a different basketball. It don't have the same touch and softness that the Spalding ball had, and you'll see this year. It's going to be a lot of bad misses. You'll see a lot of bad misses. I think you've seen a lot of air balls so far this season. So not to put any excuse or blame the basketball, but it is different. There's no secret. It's a different basketball.
Yeah, I get what he's saying.
We've had a lot of air balls. We've seen Steph go missing, and then Steve. We've seen it. It's not like he's wrong.
My favorite one was Russell Westbrook the other night. He shot a wide open three against the Rockets at the top of the backboard. There's nobody in front of him. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. That was not shade. It's just we talking about air balls. That was it's been bad, and he's not wrong. You play basketball, I play basketball. There's a difference in the ball, and he's right. It's going to be a learning curve, but for it to be a big problem, I don't think it's going to be that yet. But I don't think it's as much of an excuse as he thinks it is. It's just a fact. It's going to take some getting used to, because all these guys played with Spalding their entire career. So,
yeah, exactly. And they don't even know. Like I said, the last time they played with a Wilson ball, LeBron wasn't even born. So nobody else. If LeBron has never played with it, nobody else in the league has ever played.
Actually, are the FIBA balls Wilson? Like the Olympics and the World Cup bug? Because I remember they might be, because I remember players always not complaining, but saying that was something they always had to get used to when they're playing Olympic ball, they're playing FIBA basketball, because it's a different basketball. I think that was Wilson too. I don't know. So it just came to my brain. I might be it too.
For those of you who are wondering, I looked up why they made the change from Spalding to Wilson. They didn't give a lot of details as to why that was a thing, but yes, exactly that. It just came down to money, and the league is not even disclosing what the financial deal was with Wilson. So that's how it definitely came down to money. But that's all I got. And Paul George, once again, with the braids. I see you. I might have to go ahead and get mine redone. His braids is always tight, Kawhi. Pay attention. But that's all I got for Need to Know News. Chris, can you take us into the post-up?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for this Taco Tuesday. I forgot what day it was. Taco Tuesday. Post up with your boy Chris. I don't know if you saw my brain just shut down. I completely forgot what day it is today. But yes, it is none other than Taco Tuesday. And as Jackie mentioned, a week from her birthday. But let's get into this post up today, starting off with some drama. We got nothing but drama. I need some drama music where just rain coming down, tears coming. It's just all kinds of drama going on in Boston. Boston Celtics right now are not having a good start to the season. It's just drama. If you want to know how bad it is in Boston, it's so bad that they're sitting at 2-5, 12th in the East. Last night, they had a crazy lead against the Bulls, and they lost it all in the fourth quarter. Drama. And Marcus Smart says he knows the reason why. He says because they predictable as hell. He said every team knows we're trying to go to Jayson and Jaylen. I think everybody's scouting report is to make those guys try to pass the ball. They don't want to pass the ball. And that's something they're going to learn. Now, it's being reported from a lot of beat writers in Boston and Massachusetts and all those people over there are close to the league that this is the first a bit of turmoil that Coach Ime Udoka is going to be going through. Now, remember, not too long ago, I think it was actually just the other day, this man was suspended or fined for missing his flight with the team. So there's drama going on within the Boston organization. But to add to the drama, I completely agree because watching that game, we were the first game of the season, Knicks versus Celtics. He's right. The offense was get the ball to Tatum or Brown. And Brown was on, but Tatum was off, which led to us being able to smack him in the face because they only had one dude making all their baskets, and they weren't going to anybody else. So I think Marcus Smart has a point, Jackie Ray. Do you agree? Is he disgruntled, or is he just being real because that's just who Marcus Smart is?
First of all, I think he's being real. I think he's right. And I think this was said in the locker room. So Marcus doesn't strike me as the type of guy that's just going to hold his tongue. I think at some point he's probably said, look, this ain't working. Y'all got it. It can't just be get the ball to Jayson, get the ball. You know what I mean? Jaylen, it can't just be the, we have a whole freaking team. I'm sure he didn't say freaking, but I believe that in the room, he probably expressed that. And the only reason I think that is because this is typically what people do. When they feel like they haven't been heard in a specific setting, they start being vocal outside of that setting. So I feel like this isn't new information to that team. They might feel some type of way that he said it publicly, but do something different. This ain't working. Do something else.
Yeah.
That's what T-Pain said, right? Do something else.
Do something else. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, normally I'd be like, oh, here go Marcus Smart, but he did not lie. And I completely agree. I guarantee you he said this after like the third game to the team. Then said it in the fourth game to the team. Then the fifth game. And he said, so y'all not going to listen? Cool. Watch this. And he went on and said it publicly last night. So, he's right. We'll see if they make any changes. Mind you, this is Ime Udoka's first rodeo as a head coach. He's been a good assistant coach with the Spurs, the Kings, and I cannot remember the other team. But yeah, he's getting his first face of turmoil. And mind you, too, this team, that Boston Celtics, I've been saying it from the jump. That team is built weird. I'm not a fan of how that team is built outside of Jaylen and Jayson. But we'll see if they figure that out. I don't care, but we'll see. Because I like when they lose. But another team that's having similar issues is the Portland Trailblazers. Now, on time, I feel like every single day I'm seeing a tweet or I'm hearing from Jackie and us on this show that Damian Lillard is making it known that he is going nowhere. He's staying put in Portland. But then that night, the Portland Trailblazers will play, and they play like absolute doo-doo. Once again, another team, in my opinion, that was built weird. But besides that point, we've been talking about the whole drama with Ben Simmons all summer, wanting to be traded. There was a little bit of sprinkles that Damian Lillard might finally be traded. And then there was that big nugget from Mr. Daryl Morey it didn't come from Daryl Morey, but it's being rumored that Daryl Morey was sitting in his high chair waiting for the Blazers to bend so he can ultimately make a trade for Damian Lillard and Ben Simmons. So that came out. Philly fans heard it. They're not entirely ready to give Ben Simmons a chance, so they started chanting this last night.
Is capable of just leaves defenders so vulnerable.
Chance going up here at the center.
So I don't know if y'all could see my man, Coach Chauncey Billups. That camera went on him perfectly. I was trying to find the other video that zoomed in on it, but right when the camera went to him, Chauncey smiled and he said, so do we, because we know Damian Lillard has not been having a great season. I think he's averaging 18 right now. His field goal percentages are god awful. Field goal and 3-point percentages are god awful. He's not having a great start to the season. Maybe the Wilson ball is affecting him, like you mentioned. Huh?
Like, can you play? I thought he was chewing the hell out of that gum. I didn't realize he said "so do we." Can we play it one more time?
He said so do I. See, I knew I should have found the other video. But look closely, lip readers. Look. With the first time it goes to Chauncey Billups, he says so do we. Look closely.
Chance.
Oh damn! Oh
god! Caught in 4K. That's the real story, right there. But I mean, so do we. So but like I said, Philly, no love lost. Philly gonna be savages like that. Also, shout out to Scott. I had no idea Scott Brooks was on the assistant coaching staff for them, so good for them, I guess. But yeah, that's Philly. That's Philadelphia for you. Ben Simmons ain't shown up yet. They know the rumors, so they gonna chant what they want to chant. This was in the first quarter. It was 8-9, so you knew it was like that the entire night, and it was. Damian Lillard did have another rough night with 20 points after taking 20 shots. That's not good. And they did end up losing to a Tobias-less, Ben Simmons-less, Joel Embiid-less 76ers. It's tough times in Portland, but like Damian said, he's committed to the team. But in the words of Jackie Ray and myself, for this year. But yeah. So you saw now that you saw what Chauncey Billups said, Jackie. Now I need to know your opinion on that, because do you think that's because has been playing well, or that's we don't want to trade him just yet? To me, it's just because they haven't gotten Damian Lillard yet. They've been getting this imposter that's pretending to be Damian Lillard. So I think that he was making a little joke on that.
We need to talk about that. Me and Chauncey need to talk about that if I'm Dame. You know what I mean? Because it's like, bro. Because I literally thought he was chewing his gum, and I think he knew he was caught on camera because he instantly spit his gum out, and so it kind of played on the whole gum thing. That's why
the camera went back. Yeah.
He was like, gum. Y'all see this gum? I was chewing my gum. But yo, that's. I think maybe what he means though too, and I've said this before, as much as Dame is committed to staying there, quote unquote committed, his heart is not in it the same way. We're not looking at the same intense, leaving it all on the court Dame. So he probably does want Dame. We want the Dame of old is probably what Chauncey is thinking. Like
that's what I think he meant too. Right. Mm-hmm.
The Dame of old. We want the Dame that comes into practice ready to make it happen, not the Dame that comes in like, all right, what are we doing? And I feel like that's how he is now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, man. And I think we both agree that we want to see Chauncey do well as a head coach. It's been a rough start, and yes, I'm sure he definitely would like Dame back, especially the Dame of old. And I think he still will. It's Damian Lillard. I ain't worried. He is not going to finish the season averaging 18 points off of 32%. That's not happening. That's not happening.
That's still shady. Still shady as hell.
Oh man, shout out to the Philly cameraman, the Philly producer for getting that. That was good timing. All right, so next up we are going to go. Okay, so I was watching the Hornets game. Yeah, so I was watching the Hornets game, and I noticed a certain player was playing for the first time this season, PJ Washington. I was like, oh snap, PJ's back. Like I said, minus the Brittany Renner stuff, I like PJ Washington, the basketball player. So I'm seeing how he was affected by it, and he was okay in his debut game. The Hornets still played well, but he was okay in it. So then right after I watched that game, I go on Twitter, and then this popped up. It is none other than his baby mama, Brittany Renner, who had some things to say. She felt like she needed to go and speak out and defend herself, talking to DJ Academics. And I'm going to let her speak, and then I want to hear y'all opinions after that. Go ahead, Brittany Renner.
Okay, so this is what I really get so fucking annoyed about is like, so when do you as men take accountability? You're old enough to ride this ride. You want to fuck with me. You want to come at me. You want to fuck me raw. So why are we babying men who make decisions for themselves? Like I told you, I was on birth control up until I had a conversation with my baby father. So what do you think happened? So I imagine I gotta leg lock him. No, let me.
The maturity of men and women are different.
No, stop. No, it's because men and women are held to different standards. Y'all want to look at a 20-year-old who wanted to fuck. I was 26 when I met him. You want to fuck with me? Here's what it is. Nope. Like, stop acting like someone had to pull the wool over his eyes. I was exactly who I am right now. And stop. Let me finish. I have no reason to be. I have no reason to lie about anything that I've done or the person that I.
Yeah, and it goes on. She just repeats herself.
Come on my show and tell me to be quiet. That's what you're not gonna do. He sat there and let her talk to him. Girl, I wish I could get. Let me try to get her on my show. Let me try.
Well, what are your thoughts on what she said? What are your thoughts on what she said?
I think she is. I can't say what I feel about her truly on this show, but I think she a hoe, and I think that she feels that if she goes into the situation and says I'm a hoe, then she's good. But the thing that she's missing is a 20-year-old kid who was 19 when you met him. Wasn't he 18, 19 when you met him, and 18, you was 26. Yeah. Trifling heifer. Like, you trying to play this different, and what you did was you wooed him, you gave it up to him, you got him sprung to the point where you started telling him I love him, and then you guys had a conversation about you getting off birth control because he fell for the okie doke. So don't play these games like you went in there and you was some kind of Cinderella and all of a sudden things went south. That's not what it was.
Right.
You went in there trying to get this man's money, and you succeeded, and you went for the low-hanging fruit because you knew nobody else in the league who was a veteran was going to fall for this dumbness. So you went in there and you got the kid. You're trifling. And where is your mother is what I want to know. Is she a get around girl too? Is that how you came into this world?
There it is. I was waiting for the get around girl.
What was it? I can't stand this chick at all.
Yeah. I want to let you go out because to me, I saw this and I was just, my face was like DJ Academics. I was just like, I'm not learning anything new from this. I was expecting all of what she said, and I don't change my mind on nothing. So yeah, speak on, Jackie Ray. Speak on. I'm looking at the chat to see if anything. Yep, everyone's she belonged to the streets. Charlotte Ty. Yeah, man, it is. Yeah. Like the chat saying, she is who we thought she was. Like nothing changes there. Like she did not help her case by, I don't know if she thought she did by saying the ages and then also to rounding up. I'm glad you pointed that part out because she knew she was rounding up, and it still don't sound great, but she rounded up because he definitely was not all 20 when they met. Because there's pictures of before this kid was even in the league that she was already planting her seed, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know, man. That's that. Nothing changed for me there, and I'm sure it didn't change for y'all either. Speaking of craziness, this is a wild one. Y'all buckle up for this one. I'm gonna try to get through this as smoothly as possible. But what you see right here, what you're seeing right with this thing right, yeah, that's what happened. We got a Texas coach who left his whole wife to go be with a stripper. But when I wait till I tell you the name of this stripper, boy, wait till I tell you the name of this stripper. Let's read this tweet first. So you get it. Okay, so Giga Maggie saying, you cannot make this crap up. The Longhorns just hired Jeff Banks, who left his wife and kids to be with a stripper named Pole Assassin, who has been on Jerry Springer and has a pet monkey who was a part of her stripping act. Which core value is this again? Because, you know, it's Texas and that's their whole thing. Now let's go through this slide so you understand this story a little bit more. Now, the first, here you go. It's Pole Assassin. First and foremost, Roll Tide, strike one. But your man just went to Coach Texas and you talking about, all right, but there she go. Next one, she's like, headed to see what Austin has to offer my baby. And that's Mr. Jeff Banks right there. All right, nice and people. But here we go. Now we're going down memory lane because Jerry Springer's show, Pole Assassin equal to GOAT, is the greatest pole dancer to ever hit our stage. There she go in all her glory. And she responds, thank you for having me. It gets better than that. We go on to this next one. There go little man. His name is Monkey G. Her name is Monkey G, and that's them doing their act. This whole thing is nonsense. Jeff. I mean, congrats on the job, but like they said, like the people upstairs in Texas saw my man, read his credentials, and saw what's going on in the personal life, and they said, "Yeah, this checks out. You're hired. We'll see you tomorrow." Like, what the hell is going on with this circus? What is going on with this circus? Yeah, look at that. That's the face I had, Jackie. Yeah, I read that headline, And I'm looking at all this stuff, and I'm just looking like, the hell? So there go Jeffy, I guess. I have nothing else to add, but I wanted you guys to go on that roller coaster with me. Let's go to the final thing on post up, and we saw. I don't know if you guys was expecting anything else. I know I had a lot of people who were expecting a different result because they are fans of that New York team that was playing against them. But we saw the Giants and the Chiefs play Monday Night Football last night, and Mahomes almost fumbled the bag, but luckily the Chiefs were able to survive and win that game. And there was a point on camera where this little dude came on screen, and this dude was on point. We're gonna be seeing. I mean, when you have a haircut and you're light skin, I'm sure you can figure it out. My man had the earrings and everything. He went full baby Pat Mahomes, but the Twitter user said Patrick Mahomes got some explaining to do. Hashtag Monday Night Football. I don't think it's all that, but yeah, this kid is spot on. Now that's what happens, man, when you have, memorable hairdos and you got that dope, persona. Like, I don't know if y'all remember with Odell Beckham Jr. at his time when he was in New York. Right now, the LaMelo Ball craze is going crazy in Charlotte, where you got a lot of these during their Halloween game. They had all these LaMelo Ball lookalikes, and now Patrick Mahomes the same thing with the hair and the headband. But this kid wins. He was spot on. That kid was spot on. Yeah, he looked like him. I don't know if the earrings were real, but he looked like he too young to have earrings. But hey, spot on, I guess, whatever the case may be. But Jackie Ray, what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna leave my lovely fiance for no damn stripper named Pole Assassin that got a pet monkey, and then I'm on top of that, I ain't gonna hire nobody with that kind of track record and thinking that everything's gonna be a-okay for my Texas Longhorns. But Jackie, can you tell us what else we not gonna do on this fine Taco Tuesday?
Yes, y'all. Let's get into this.
It's a lot.
Today is a lot. Like, my whole face has been contorted this whole show, but it's not gonna get any better right now because this one, I don't like these type of people. I don't like this mindset. I am very anti-participation trophy. If you didn't go out there to put in the work to win, you shouldn't walk away with the trophy. On top of that, let me explain my definition of sportsmanship. My definition of sportsmanship is when I knock you down, I almost knock you out, and you having a hard time getting up, I'm going to extend my hand to you. But I'm going to knock you down again. So either you figure out a way to not keep getting knocked down, or I'm just going to keep helping you up. But you're going to continually get knocked down. That's number one. Number two, I have to shout out this coach. Let me let you see this first tweet, and we're going to just break this down. So y'all see the score, right? So this is Inglewood. Shout out to Inglewood High School here in California. They beat Morningside Monarchs 100-6. I got to shout out this young man, and I have to shout out the coach who made this happen, because last night UCLA commit Justin Martin threw the most touchdown passes in high school football game in 100 years. He threw 13 touchdown passes in a game. One of those came from a 2-point conversion. But shout out to his coach for understanding that this kid was on pace to break this record and making sure that he did. I applaud this coach. I think this is very well done. Congratulations. But people are upset about that. So much so that this whole outcry has happened, like, oh, this is embarrassing. This is not sportsmanlike that they beat Morningside 106-0. So much so that Inglewood had to issue an apology for this smackdown, which I cannot believe. So this says, we at the Inglewood Unified School District, which is IUSD, are saddened beyond words by the events that transpired at the football game Friday between Inglewood and Morningside High School. We will conduct a full investigation and take whatever steps are necessary to ensure that a similar outcome never happens again. Under IUSD athletic program, our expectations is that every athletic contest reflects the highest level of sportsmanship, respect, and collegiate in every interaction among players, coaches, staff, and administrators. We value the hard work and commitment made by every student athlete and regret these actions have taken the focus away from the positive strides our program made at IUSD. Now, you made strides so much that you laid a 106-0 smackdown. What's the apology for? Look, let me tell y'all something. You know the best way not to get beat 106-0. First of all, forfeit. If you know damn well your kids can't play that good, and you know that they're gonna beat like forfeit. But what I'm not gonna do as a coach is rob my quarterback of the opportunity to break a record to save your feelings. No, the hell I'm not. And the fact that this school apologized and what they're doing is taking away from this record that's been broke by Justin. Let this kid have his moment to shine. So I'm 100% shout out to the coach for making sure that this young man had his moment in time, regardless of these hurt feelings. But for the most part on Twitter, I've been in so many Twitter battles this morning over this specific thing. And to one point, a guy said, you know what? I've been a coach. So let me show you his tweet and what he said. And he says, for the people saying this is okay and the world is soft are the people who are the problem. I 100% agree the world is soft. However, I am a coach, and over the years, I had many chances to blow teams out. However, as a decent human being, I pulled the starters and let the backups play. Okay, and you're the reason why Karens exist. You're the reason why people have been raised to think that they are entitled to something that they are not. The world doesn't give a damn about your feelings. The world doesn't give you participation trophies. You either man up, step up, and get it done, or you get smacked down. That's real life. And what you're instilling in these kids is like, hey, once people start beating you so bad, they're going to ease off the brakes to give you a chance. No, the hell we're not. Life does not work like that. And I don't know what y'all think sportsmanship is, but that is not it. Sportsmanship is me shaking your hand at the end of the game after I laid the smackdown and said, you know what, get them next time. That's what sportsmanship is. Y'all are mad soft. Dick Vitale was so mad that he almost cried. He almost cried. Y'all take a listen to this.
Hi, everybody. Dick Vitale, my motivational tip of the day. It's all about, in the world of coaching, teaching, no matter what you do in life. You don't want to embarrass anybody. You don't want to humiliate anyone. I can't believe what I just read yesterday. I can't believe this. Can't be true. Inglewood High School out of California, they're playing Morningside High School. What about this? The coach's quarterback has thrown 13 touchdown passes. Yes, and want to go one step further? What about the fact he's up 104-0? 104-0, and he goes for a 2-point conversion to win 106-0. What is that? Is that sportsmanship? Is that what a coach is supposed to be? I don't want to be so mean and tough, but a guy like that, if I'm the principal, I'm firing him immediately. Come on now. You're representing kids. Humiliation. There's no place for it.
Let me tell you who needs to be fired. Okay? The coach that did not coach his team up enough so that they didn't get beat 106-0. But what we're not going to do is not reward this young man for getting these 13 touchdowns. I am completely grossed out by the people who think that they should not have played the way that they did. Shouts out to those kids having a coach that gave them the opportunity to continue to play their best and not give in to this softness. Chris?
Sorry, that the 13. I was trying so hard to keep my expression in, but that 13 touchdowns, man. The Saints. Hey, Justin, what you doing, dog? Skip college. Just come straight to New Orleans. We need you, my guy. Golly. Now, here's my thing. I will not play devil's advocate because this is how I honestly feel. The only thing is, the only part of that tweet I do agree with, and because this happens in football regardless, like when you're being blown out 50-14, it happens all the time. In the fourth quarter, yes, I probably would have put in my second unit, my bench guys, but that doesn't mean all of a sudden I'm gonna start playing nice. Now I'm expecting that the next up group, because these are guys that are trying to compete for spots, I'm still drawing the plays for them to win. If your defense still can't stop my second unit, my third unit, that's on you, Chief. I did my part. My starters did their thing for 3 quarters. You couldn't do anything about it. All right, here's the second unit. But that doesn't mean now I'm just going to hand it over to you. No, I'm still going to be trying to bust your ass with my second unit. But I think that's the only thing. I do agree with the coach in that regard. that we're blowing him out by that much. He's going to have 8 touchdowns by the third quarter. That's still a record. Do your thing, Justin. I have your praise, but I'm putting on my second unit, but I'm not going to put on the brakes. Don't get it twisted. So that's the only thing I did agree with on the tweet. Other than that, yeah, 100% soft. And we're not the problem. The problem is that coach on the other side does not have a good organization, does not have a good set of guys over there, and he's getting a pat on the back for being trash. And now we're talking about firing this coach for a team where you scored 106 points. I don't care if you think that's unsportsmanlike or not. That coach might be doing a very good job with this squad. If I don't know, to me that the whole thing is just backwards. I hear it, but I think it's soft. I think the whole entire thing is soft.
I personally am not pulling. I'm not pulling my starters if I have a quarterback in who has a chance of breaking a 100-year-old record. I'm not doing it. Yes, 8 touchdowns is great. Yes, that'll give you accolades. But when you have an opportunity to break a record that's been standing for 100 years,
I get that.
I'm gonna help you get there. I am not going to be the reason I take off the gas to steal your shine. I'm not going to steal your shine because these kids suck. They suck. They gonna.
Well, I'm just saying because that's just it's a common practice. Like it's just what happens. You know, when you're blowing out a team, you get the second unit some burn. I hear what you're saying because that is a crazy record to beat, and I have no problem with that. But the point of the matter, I'm just saying that I think just out of playing games and stuff, that's just my thought process. Like, damn, we whooping their ass. All right, y'all, go ahead, go get your burn in. All right, hey Johnny, you been working out arm in practice. See what you can do against some real thing. Go do your thing, dog. Go ahead. But at the same time, I ain't gonna go out there and now we're gonna be doing foo-foo plays. No, my second unit is gonna go out there and show that they can play too. But I hear what you're saying. So what was the record? Because he got 13. Was the record 12 or 10? What was the record?
I think the record was like 10. I think it was 10 touchdowns in a high school game. So technically, after he got 11, they could have pulled him out.
I think that's when I probably would pulled him. Yeah. But like I said, I'm not pulling them to then play soft. We still gonna keep going. But I'm just saying, I think I would have put my second unit in just because that's when you're blowing out a team, that's just what happens. But not to be nice. That's the damn. That's not the reason why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Well, Morningside, welcome to life. That's all we got time for.
I want to know what happens next. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm going to be looking this up.
They fire him, I'm going to have to take a day off and go down into Inglewood High School and protest, even if I have to do it by my damn self. But what we not going to do.
I doubt they'll fire him. Because I was at the Chargers' first game of the season in SoFi, and they were praising this team. The coach had got a little ribbon and everything during before the game even started. It was this same exact squad. I remember because they were wearing the exact same jersey. So that coach is very respected, very well liked in that community. I understand Dick Vitale and other people might be upset and salty about it. Probably like all of Texas probably upset because that's not the good old way of playing football. But I doubt they'll fire him. I hope they don't fold because they were just praising this guy for putting together a great team, and we're saying that they're really good because they're beating people 106-0.
Yeah, well, they better not. It's not like he got boys up as women and giving lap dances. I mean, if there's our fireable offenses happening. Don't. Yeah. This is not one of them. So, All right, you guys, that's all the time we got on this Taco Tuesday. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and we will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Eat some tacos. Scorpios unite. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow morning.